Benny and the Talking Tree. The Secret in the Forest. Benny was a curious 7-year-old boy with a mop of sandy brown hair and bright green eyes that sparkled with wonder. He lived in a small village, surrounded by an enormous forest that everyone called Whispering Woods. The woods were full of mysteries, and Benny loved to explore, even though the grown-ups warned him not to go too far. One sunny morning, Benny grabbed his red backpack, packed an apple, and decided to venture deeper than he'd ever gone before. The forest seemed alive with the songs of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the gentle hum of a nearby stream. Suddenly, Benny heard something unusual. A voice. "Who's there?" Benny asked, spinning around. "Over here," came a deep, friendly tone. Benny's eyes widened as he saw a giant oak tree with a face carved into its trunk. The face blinked and smiled. "Hello, Benny." Benny rubbed his eyes. "You can talk?" The tree chuckled, its branches swaying gently. "Of course, I can. My name is Oakley, and I've been watching over this forest for hundreds of years. But only those who truly care about nature can hear me speak." Benny grinned. "That's amazing. Can you tell me stories about the forest?" "Oh, I have plenty of stories," said Oakley. "But first, you must promise to listen closely. Every tale has a lesson, Benny." The Tales of the Forest. Oakley began his first story, his voice deep and soothing. "Long ago, a family of birds built a nest in my branches. But one year the rains didn't come, and the forest grew dry. A fire threatened the animals, but the birds and other creatures worked together to warn everyone and find safety. Their teamwork saved the forest." "Wow," said Benny, his eyes wide. "The animals helped each other?" "That's right," Oakley said. "The forest thrives when everyone works together." Benny nodded, thinking of how he could help in his village. But before he could ask another question, Oakley began another story. "This one is about the squirrels," Oakley said with a playful twinkle in his carved eyes. "Once, a squirrel named Nutmeg buried more acorns than she could eat. Winter came, and Nutmeg shared her stash with animals who had none. That year, the forest learned the power of kindness." Benny clapped his hands. "I want to be like Nutmeg." Oakley smiled. "Then start by helping the forest. It's been hurting lately. Have you noticed litter near the stream?" Benny nodded sadly. "Yes. I'll clean it up tomorrow." The tree leaned closer, its branches rustling. "Good. And remember, small actions can make a big difference." Benny's big idea. The next morning, Benny returned to the forest with his red wagon. He picked up candy wrappers, bottles, and plastic bags from the stream and the trails. As he worked, the birds chirped happily, and even a curious deer peeked out from the bushes. When Benny returned to Oakley, his wagon was full of trash. "Look what I did!" Benny exclaimed. Oakley's carved face beamed. "You've done well, Benny. But there's one more story I want to share. It's about a boy who cared so much for the forest that he inspired others to help too." Benny tilted his head. "What did he do?" Oakley's smile grew wider. "He started a project. He invited his friends and neighbors to plant trees and keep the forest clean. Soon, everyone in the village felt connected to the woods." Benny's eyes lit up. "I can do that. I'll tell my friends and my teacher. We can all take care of the forest together." And so Benny did. He drew posters, spoke to his classmates, and even organized a forest cleanup day. People from the village joined in, and the whispering woods began to shine again. Birds sang louder, flowers bloomed brighter, and the streams sparkled like diamonds. One evening, Benny returned to Oakley. "We did it," he said, leaning against the giant oak. "The forest is happy again." Oakley's branches swayed gently, and his deep voice echoed with pride. "Benny, you've shown the world the power of kindness and teamwork. You're a true friend of the forest." Benny grinned. "And you're the best storyteller ever." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Benny headed home, his heart full of joy. He knew that Oakley's stories would stay with him forever, and he promised to keep sharing them, one adventure at a time.